There was a time it was believed that aluminum salts in deodorants and antiperspirants caused cancer and were dangerous to our well-being, but according to recent studies, this has turned out to be wrong, about which more details will be described later. Aluminum salts have been used for over half a century as the active ingredient in antiperspirants to control sweat and body odor. In fact, the traditional use of aluminum to combat body odor dates back hundreds of years in regions like Europe, Mexico, Thailand, and Asia. Today, aluminum salts help millions of people around the world feel and smell fresh and enjoy more self-confidence. But before we even get into how aluminum salts work, it's important to note the difference between deodorants and antiperspirants. Though we tend to use the word deodorant to refer to anything we swipe on our underarms, that's not actually accurate. See, deodorant is simply made to curb body odor, and antiperspirant is meant to curb sweat or perspiration, hence the name. Antiperspirants help you sweat less by blocking your pores, the tiny openings in your skin that sweat comes out of. These anti-sweating products contain many ingredients, including aluminum salts. The salts dissolve on your skin and melt into your pores. When an antiperspirant is applied, the salts dissolve in the sweat or moisture in the underarm. The dissolved substance forms a gel, which creates a temporary plug in the sweat gland, reducing the amount of sweat that can rise to the skin's surface. Aluminum salts are also natural antimicrobial agents, so they control bacteria on the skin, reducing unpleasant odors. Doctors and dermatologists use prescription antiperspirants to treat health conditions like hyperhidrosis that cause too much sweating. This medicated antiperspirant has about 10 to 30% aluminum salts, which is much higher than the amount of aluminum in drugstore antiperspirants. So yeah, antiperspirants have been useful to us all, but are they safe? There have been complaints or worries that aluminum salts are believed to cause cancer. The most common concern about aluminum in antiperspirants is that it's linked to breast cancers. A 2018 medical study shows that too much aluminum may change how the body makes or responds to the female hormone estrogen. And changes in the endocrine hormone system can be harmful to your body over time. Another medical study from 2017 asked 209 women with breast cancer and 209 women without breast cancer how often they used antiperspirants and for how long. The group with breast cancer self-reported that they used antiperspirants several times a day, beginning before age 30. The control group of women without breast cancer self-reported that they used antiperspirants less. Both groups had aluminum salts in their breast tissue. However, women who said they used antiperspirants often had a higher concentration of aluminum salts. According to the authors of these studies, most breast cancers develop in the upper outer part of the breast, the area closest to the armpit, which is where antiperspirants are applied. The studies suggest that chemicals in antiperspirants, including aluminum, are absorbed into the skin, particularly when the skin is nicked during shaving. These studies further claim that those chemicals may then interact with DNA and lead to cancerous changes in cells or interfere with the action of the female hormone estrogen, which is known to influence the growth of breast cancer cells. Considering that 1 out of every 8 women will develop breast cancer at some point in their lifetime, the idea that antiperspirants might somehow contribute to the disease is a pretty serious claim. Yet some experts say the claims do not hold up to scrutiny. Most breast cancers grow in the upper outer part of the breast, not far from your armpit, because the tissue in this area is denser. Dense breast tissue is linked to an increased risk for breast cancer, and dense breast tissue also makes it more difficult for your doctor to see abnormal or cancerous tissues on mammograms, concluding the idea that it's ridiculous for antiperspirants to cause breast cancer. Some research then focused on parabens, which are preservatives used in some deodorants, and antiperspirants that have been shown to mimic the activity of estrogen in the body's cell, which is a problem because estrogen can promote the growth of cancer cells. To be fair, it has been reported that parabens are found in breast tumors, but there is no evidence or proof that shows that parabens actually cause breast cancer. Though it is safe to say that most deodorants and antiperspirants do not contain parabens. Many of the studies that have been conducted were flawed, and even though there were a few detected chemicals from antiperspirants in breast tissue, they didn't prove that those chemicals had any effect on breast cancer risk. Even, the American Cancer Society has come out to say that there's no scientific evidence that using antiperspirants causes or worsens breast cancers. What is known, however, is that aluminum salts from antiperspirants may be absorbed through your skin and collected in breast tissue. So in other words, it might be safe. And here's why they believe it's not harmful, at least well enough to cause cancer. Recent research published by the National Center for Biotechnology Information suggests that frequent use of antiperspirants can cause aluminum to accumulate in breast tissue, but this doesn't prove that aluminum salts can cause breast cancer. In fact, breast cancer tissue doesn't seem to contain more aluminum than normal breast tissue. And worrying about if antiperspirants cause breast cancer or not shouldn't distract women from addressing the real breast cancer risks, especially the ones they can control, like eating healthy, getting regular exercise, and limiting alcohol. According to the experts, the aluminum in antiperspirants or deodorants doesn't even typically make its way into the body. The aluminum salts do not work as antiperspirants by being absorbed in the body. They work by forming a chemical reaction with the water in the sweat to form a physical plug, which is deposited in the sweat duct, producing a blockage in the areas that it's applied. Though aluminum salts might be of greater concern if you have kidney problems, especially if your kidney function is about 30% or less. Usually, excess aluminum is filtered out of your body by your kidneys. So, people with weakened kidney function can't filter aluminum fast enough. However, if you have normal kidney function, then your kidneys can usually process the amount of aluminum from antiperspirants and cosmetics that are absorbed through your skin. This is why the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, FDA, requires antiperspirant manufacturers to include warnings specifically for people with kidney disease. Back in the 1960s, a few studies found high levels of aluminum in the brains of people with Alzheimer's disease. The research suddenly called into question the safety of everyday household items such as aluminum cans, antacids, and antiperspirants. But the findings of these early studies weren't replicated in later research, and experts have essentially ruled out aluminum as a possible cause of Alzheimer's. Concerns about antiperspirants and kidney disease were first raised many years ago when dialysis patients were given a drug called aluminum hydroxide to help control high phosphorus levels in their blood. Because their kidneys weren't functioning properly, their bodies couldn't remove the aluminum fast enough, and it began accumulating. Scientists noticed that dialysis patients who had these high aluminum levels were more likely to develop dementia. But it should be noted this problem only arose because aluminum was ingested on a routine basis. In reality, it's almost impossible to absorb enough aluminum through the skin to harm the kidneys or cause breast cancer. Unless you eat your stick or spray it into your mouth, your body can't absorb that much aluminum. You may feel hotter since the plugging of sweat ducts impedes the natural physiologic process of sweating, which is the body's natural process for cooling off. It might also cause underarm irritation, as applying aluminum-containing deodorants or antiperspirant can lead to irritation, rashes, little underarm pimples, and even color changes of the skin. And you might want to keep them away from your whites as aluminum antiperspirants stain your favorites' clothes by creating a yellow stint that is nearly impossible to remove. Aside from these issues, using your antiperspirants shouldn't cause a life-threatening problem. But if your main goal is to keep that signed t-shirt crispy white as you can, then you can very much ditch antiperspirant in favor of aluminum-free deodorants. So should you be worried about your antiperspirant? In short, no. There is no real scientific evidence that aluminum or any of the other ingredients in these products pose any threat to human health. These products can be used with high confidence in their safety. They've been used for many years, and there's no evidence that suggests a problem. Aluminum is one of the most abundant metals on Earth, existing naturally within the Earth's core, so we've been using aluminum so far since the dawn of time. They have been extensively evaluated and proclaimed safe to use on a regular basis. Your chances of getting sick come from your diet and your way of living, and by that, we mean smoking, drinking alcohol, or not exercising. It's definitely not from using antiperspirants. Antiperspirants have no proven impact on the risk of diseases like breast cancer and Alzheimer's. And contrary to popular belief, your body does need to get rid of cancer-causing toxins, but that's not done through sweating. The body sweats to control its temperature, not to remove toxins. Most of the body's 2 to 5 million sweat glands are not found in our underarms and so are not affected by antiperspirants. Only 1% of the body's sweat is produced in the armpit. We're just more aware of it because it doesn't evaporate as easily as elsewhere on the body. Filtering toxins is done by your kidneys and liver, which remove toxins from your body by helping to produce urine or feces. So using antiperspirant to stop sweating shouldn't affect your body's ability to rid itself of toxins. But if you still prefer to go natural, you could try an aluminum-free antiperspirant alternative, or even rub items from your kitchen, such as tea or lemon, under your arms. Just be warned, the resulting aromas and wet spots could cause your friends to flee. In general, deodorants and antiperspirants are safe products for most people in good health to use. However, if you have an allergy or other health condition that could be affected by the ingredients in deodorant, it's best to discuss this with your doctor. And that is all we have for you today. We hope you found this video entertaining and insightful, and if you did, please do give us a thumbs up and hit the bold red subscribe button to subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching. Till next time.